Zion, which is, as I said, where we know that the original Christian community of Jerusalem lived and settled. So that church was sometimes referred to as the mother of all churches. And that church included within it the upper room. So the Crusaders apparently redid or reconstructed or did their own architecture here, those columns, those arches, which was done by the Crusaders, but the spot itself is the location of the upper room. I want to remind everybody that Jesus and his disciples were here in Jerusalem as pilgrims from the Galilee, as were many others. I mean, those three pilgrimage festivals singled out by the Torah, Passover, Shavuot, and Sukkot, would attract Jews from all over the land, from all over the world. As a matter of fact, we know that even non-Jews would come to see what was going on because there was really nothing else like it. There was no other place where you had such a concept of one central place of worship that served not just the local population of that city, not just the entire population of the land, but it was the one central place of worship for all Jews wherever they might be, wherever their communities, are, within even the diaspora. So that's the kind of pilgrimage. Let me give you the minimum estimates, okay? There are estimates that go higher than this, but the minimum estimates would be that in the days of Jesus, something like 150,000 Jews from all over the world coming to Jerusalem, which the estimates of the Jerusalem population would be in the area of 80,000. So can you imagine that? Almost double the size of the population of the city coming to visit the city. You could barely imagine what's going on here and why non-Jews would want to see that also. Because there was nothing else like it. Who else would want to be here during that week, even though he wasn't normally living in Jerusalem, nor was he based in Jerusalem, nor was he Jewish and had any interest with all this Jewish worship? But, well, how about Pontius Pilate, who was based in Caesarea, where we're going to be tomorrow, was the headquarters for the Roman administration. That's where the governor's palace on normal days would be. But if you were, we have a lot of different nicknames for Passover. And we also call it, not only Passover, we call it the Festival of Freedom. Because we are celebrating, from we were slaves and then God freed us. So it's the Festival of Freedom. If you were the Roman governor and you knew that close to 250,000 Jews were gathering in Jerusalem to celebrate the Festival of Freedom under Roman oppression, wouldn't you be worried? Wouldn't you be in Jerusalem in a spot where you can keep your eyes open on what's going on in the temple? How about at the Antonia Fortress, adjacent to the temple? And if anybody had to be brought in front of the Roman governor, it would have been there at the Antonia Fortress. So keep that in mind. Keep in mind how busy this city is and everything that's going on, how wonderful it was for tour guides that had a lot of work, and for all the vendors trying to sell stuff, and for commerce, and it was just incredible. In that scene, just keep in mind all the time that scene of the busy, bustling city, and everything that we're hearing about happens kind of with that in the background.